Yes, and welcome back to the 94 Club for your daily dose of country music. Hey, look, this week we're doing things a little bit different. I went away for the weekend, so I got to Sunday and I just realised that I didn't have time to record all of my videos for the week, so we had no uploads go up yesterday. Today I'm doing this after work, so immediately we're going to edit and re-upload. But anyway, I'm just going to try and record and edit as the week goes on and see if I can find a workflow that works for me. I'm going to record two right now and then we'll get to edit. So those two are going to be Casey Musgraves and Morgan Wade, and these will upload on Monday and Tuesday. So there'll be no Tyler Tuesdays this week. We will be featuring his wife though at some point, which will be good fun, so we can see that sort of music. But anyway, let's get into it. Let's see who we've got today. Right, so we're going with Morgan Wade, The Night. This one got requested a lot, so yeah, I'm excited already. This was like, I think when I asked about female country artists, and this one came in probably around 20 times. It got requested over the week. So, and by the way, thank you everyone that requested artists. A lot of them I've written down. I'm ready to go with them. But one video a day just means that it's going to take a while to get to all of them. But anyway, the amount this got requested, I was like, it has to drop probably on a Tuesday, which is when I'm going to put it up, because it's going to replace Tyler Childers just for this 1 week only, and we want to make sure it's a good one. So it's called The Night. You've seen it in the title. Let me just double check this is all set up and working. Cool. All right, let's get straight in. Let's go.
By summer's end, I predicted I finally lost my mind. The doctor said that these new pills, they might help me this time. And I hope that's the case, 'cause I feel I am wasting one life that I have. The chances they come and the chances they go, but the time you don't get that back. And Johnny called me late last night, and I told Mr. Walker, just go home. Why do the demons in my mind never wanna leave me alone? It's a pistol and a bottle, it's the drugs and it's the throttle. Now tell me they'll make me feel alive. I know good and well that ain't gonna help. I'm just praying, and I make it through the night.
This is such a beautiful song on so many different levels. Well, probably on one level, really, that it's there to support people and to relate to. And I couldn't think of a better voice to match this message. She's got an unreal voice, and the passion is there. And I feel right now how I feel when I listen to Benjamin Todd and the Lost Dog Street Band. This all comes from a sense of experience and past and previous memories. And the reason that it's wrote this way is because she's gone through this and she understands it. It's brilliant. We will do a deep dive at the end, and I think I can relate to this quite well. There's a lot of things that probably can't in its entirety, but in reference to substance abuse and things like that. But this Johnny called me late last night and I told Mr. Walker, just go home. We're talking about Johnny Walker, the whiskey brand, right? It's just strong. It's brilliant. We'll carry on anyway. We'll keep listening.
Well, I'd love to get to sleep, but I can't get too deep, though I'm doing the best that I can. My mind likes to talk about everything I'm not, even worse, everything I am. I tell my friends and they tell me that time will only do me well, but I won't shut my mouth as it rolled out in the South. You can't talk about your mental health. And Johnny called me late last night, and I told Mr. Walker, just go home. Why do the demons in my mind never wanna leave me alone? It's the pistol and the bottle, it's the drugs and it's the throttle. Now tell me to make me feel high. I know good and well that ain't gonna help. I'm just praying, and I make it through the night. And Johnny called me late last night, and I told Mr. Walker, just go home. Why do the demons in my mind never wanna leave me alone? It's a pistol and a bottle, it's the drugs and it's the throttle. Now tell me to make me feel alive. I know good and well that ain't gonna help. I'm just praying, and I make it through the night. I'm praying, I make it through the night.
That song is absolutely beautiful, top tier. I gave out some 10s last week, and Morgan Wade, you have got a 10. What a track. And it's so interesting because I think it's important to make songs about these subject matters, and I also think it's important to talk on these sort of songs because a lot of us do struggle with mental health, and I don't know whether, like, you know, I always think I've got a good cap on it, a good grasp of how I feel and how my thoughts sort of manifest themselves, and I think I do. I think, you know, the first time I ever dealt with depression in any sort of way, like, it just took me out by surprise, really. Like, you sort of deteriorate over the sort of process over a couple of days, and you're overthinking everything, and you don't really know where your thoughts are going and things like that. But I think the fact that I never had exposure to a lot of the substances that she talks around in this while I was going through it, and even at all, for me were a positive thing, because I think, well, they do probably provide you with a short-term out of how you feel. I think that I don't know, but I assume that feeling that you get afterwards, is obviously a lot worse than how you were feeling before, because you sort of, I guess the way you're feeling before is a chemical imbalance, but putting chemicals into your body that shouldn't be there is going to really mess that up, and really make that worse. So I've always been sort of grateful knowing that when I'm at my lowest and I don't feel too good, that it's not worse than it is. And some people go through horrendous bouts of depression, and obviously, you know, for some they only see one way out. But and Morgan talks about it in this song, in such a beautiful way. Let's talk about the song anyway. We'll talk through the lyrics because I think they are very, very important. And like I say, this for me is on the sort of level of Benjamin Todd, Lost Dog Street Band. I think it's the same level of music. So she says, by summer's end, I predict that I'll have finally lost my mind. The doctor said that these new pills, they might help me this time. That sort of indication of might is like nothing has worked to date, and they're not sure if these will work, and this is a bit of a shot in the dark, and it doesn't seem that hopeful. And then she says, and I hope that's the case because I feel like I'm wasting the one life that I have. And any of you that watch this that have gone through these dark periods of whether it's stress, anxiety, depression, the whole cocktail of the three, I think you'll relate to this because you'll sit there and you'll spiral and you'll think, I don't feel great about this. Now I don't feel great about the fact that I don't feel great. And now I'm thinking, well, actually, the time that I have is finite and I have to make the most of it. That thought can drag you out and it can take you into a better place. But that thought as well can spiral even further. And then you could get down about the fact that you're down, about the fact that you're down. Like it's not a good place to be. And then, so she says, the chances they come and the chances they go, but the time you get that back, the time you don't get that back. So what she's saying is like, actually, it's okay to feel a little shitty right now. It's okay not to feel good. And it's okay to pass these chances that are coming up because, you know, I've been in positions where a couple of years ago, certain opportunities came my way. I just weren't ready for them. And I'm so grateful I didn't take them. You know, they could have led to great things, but they could have also put way too much stress and pressure on me that I didn't feel capable of dealing with it back then. Right now, I kind of feel like I could take on the world. But that's kind of just how I'm feeling right now. And it's a different mindset to where I was previously. But anyway, so she then goes on to say, and this is the line I like, this is the chorus, Johnny called me late last night and I told Mr. Walker just go home. That line is, you know, top tier, top shelf. Why do the demons in my mind never want to leave me alone? And this is interesting because it's probably not that they're always there 100% of the time. It's that every time I start feeling good about myself, they start coming back. And it's like, well, why don't you just stay away? And those demons are the negative thoughts. And then she says it's the pistol and the bottle, it's the drugs, it's the throttle. So everything that gives her a sense of adrenaline or takes her out of this slump and directs attention away. She's like, you know, why is it only these things that make me feel like I'm alive, that make me feel like I can feel? And then the only reason that she feels like she's alive when she's doing these things, whether she's, you know, driving fast in the car, taking drugs, drinking, or got a gun in her hand, is because it gives her a sense of, you know, a sense of adrenaline. And I think it is the adrenaline, or it's the euphoria, or whether it's the, you know, I don't really know what it is because obviously I don't do a lot of things that she's talking about in here, but it's definitely a distraction from the way that she feels. And so she goes on to say, I know good, and well, that ain't gonna help. I'm just praying I'll make it through the night. And it's, you know, the prayers and religion is actually a sense of hope for her, and it's probably the only thing that helps her through this. So this is why I'm not the most religious person in the world, purely because I wasn't brought up to be religious, but I definitely understand why people are, and I definitely understand why it's a focus for a lot of people, because it provides people with the support that you don't necessarily get from other people all the time. Like you're relying on something to give you hope, and it does give you hope, and that's why you embrace it, and I think more power to you, honestly. It's things that I've been thinking about, but I don't know enough about it really. So second verse, she goes, well, I'd love to get to sleep, but I can't get too deep, though I'm doing the best that I can. And that's just thought spiraling, not letting her sleep. My mind likes to talk about everything I am not, and even worse, everything I am. This is interesting, and I guess this is kind of where I was before. I was thinking about the way I was perceived and actions I made, and I'd convinced myself that people would think that way about me, even though it was such a warped perception on who I was. I was like, well, if it takes me days to perceive myself as this, why is anyone else going to perceive me as that? Like, people aren't thinking about me all the time. Do you know what I mean? Whereas obviously when you're in that place, you are thinking about yourself a lot. So yeah, I mean, you just got to take yourself out of it if you can, and find out what will do that for you. And for me, it has always been music, and I think country music has always been a big help for me, for sure. One of the artists I always used to listen to that made me feel really good about myself was Devin Dawson, and his album Dark Horse. I just related to that so much. Pretty much every song in there I thought was unbelievable. War Paint, Dark Horse, Symptoms, Placebo, the whole thing was unbelievable. But anyway, we're talking about Morgan. So she goes on to say, I tell my friends and they tell me that time will only do me well. And this is one of those things, like, time's a great healer. I won't shut my mouth. Is it a rule down in the South that you can't talk about your mental health? And I think this is a stigma that we're breaking down, and especially in the UK for men, it's very, like, it's only just becoming acceptable to talk about it. And you know, we had a few famous people passing, and it's unfortunate that it takes that to happen for people to realise. But yeah, I'm all for here. I'm all for people talking about their mental health, as long as it's, because I'm doing it right now, right? I'm all for people talking about it. If they've got a little bit of a platform to help people, use it. And also bring it up in conversation. If you're having a shitty day, just say you're having a shitty day. What we do in the UK, right, is we'll go, hey, how you doing? We'll go, I'm fine, thanks, how are you? They'll go, I'm fine, thanks. Move on, walk past each other. Like, they're just words, there's no meaning in it. So if someone says to me, how you doing? I'm like, I'm all right, but I've been better. I want them to ask, and I want to tell them, because when it's bottled up in here, it's not a good place for it to be. That little bit of a conversation could rationalise it for you, and you could move on with your day and get on with it. But equally, we don't want a world where you're walking around happy and you're like, hey, how you doing? And they're like, oh, I'm having the worst day ever. And then you go to the next person, they're like, yeah, I'm having a shitty day. That's going to rub off on you. So there's a happy medium and a fine balance in there on how we talk about it. It's hard to find. And I think it's about just being there for people that you care about, and having people that care about you would help a lot. So then we go back into the chorus. I didn't mess anything in there, did I? No, so we have the first verse, chorus, second verse, chorus. Right. So Morgan Wade, a very, very good song. The Night, it's a 10 out of 10. I like it a lot. I think you're providing a very strong message in there for a lot of us to talk about and think about, and provides us with a lot of rationalization to the way that we feel. There's a bit of subject matter in there in the substances that I can't relate to, and I don't know too much about. But I think, you know, what you're doing is incredibly important, and please, please, please do continue to do it. If you see this video, otherwise I'm kind of talking to no one. But no, let me know what you all think in the comments as well. If you like the video, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and you'll stay up to date with all the latest videos. But yeah, I mean, I guess for now that's me. I've talked a lot, so thank you. Peace.